I was just invited to shoot B-roll at a shoot that my friend Cody Scott is doing, and I realized if I'm going to be switching out lenses, trying to do like behind the scenes B-roll of that shoot, I don't want to have a backpack. I actually want to have a shoulder bag, which I have plenty of shoulder bags. I think I'm going to go with my Manfrotto bag. I bought this at Walmart actually. I don't know why they had a Manfrotto bag at Walmart. Downtown, gotta figure out where I'm actually going. I have an address, but I guess I probably need to put that in my phone. Where do I go to? I'm here. Sup, bro? There he is, you can't see him. Come over by the window. That might be a little too close. Come on. Right over.
You're the professional, man. You tell me.
Yeah, you're the professional. That's the whole point of this.
You and I were talking on the phone, and I was telling you this is our last job for today, so we're gonna go celebrate with some Japanese food. But as soon as I hung up, someone called me and hired us. And the whole purpose of the video is to film this guy dressed in a Santa outfit on the back of a boat surfing, singing a rap song from 2002.
You do some of the weirdest videos. It's like that reminds me of that Chris Howe video where he was playing the ukulele on the back of being pulled by a boat.
Yeah.
For GoPro.
Yeah.
And like that was his first video that went viral.
Oh my goodness. He was wakeboarding, wasn't he?
Yes.
Wakeboarding?
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy will be surfing. He gave me a name for it, but it's very similar to wakeboarding, it's just surfing.
Cody's gonna show me all of this, but I don't want to shoot that on the kit lens, even though I could with, as long as light wasn't too much of an issue. I want to shoot that on a little bit nicer of lens. So I'm gonna be switching up between all the Viltroxes, which is why I wanted this, so that I could more easily switch lenses, because with a backpack, switching up lenses is not easy. You have to take it off your back or leave it laying out, and then you have to run over here. So I'm gonna try this and see how it works.
All right, the basic setup, your cameras and audio.
Everything.
Okay, everything. Start with the camera setup. Camera B is the Canon EOS R. Camera A is the Blackmagic 6K. We have a 40mm, we have an 85mm. 4K, 6K. So this bad boy is a Carl Zeiss lens. It's all manual focus. It is ridiculously sharp. You do have to use the hood on it though, because light hits that thing and your contrast is out of whack. Beautiful for portraits and beautiful for long distance it's like side angle shots. This one, you already know, Job, this is by far my favorite lens. 40mm. 40mm is like for me the perfect focal length for interviews, because there is a crop with this, but it doesn't show too much and it doesn't show not enough. It's like the perfect blend. So this is the sharpest lens, and we use it on everything. It's the Sigma 1.4 40mm art series. I have seen a comparison. I think it was like Gerald Undone or something like that, who compared the 40 and the 35mm, and he tested all of the scientific tests. Of course, you know him, and he did find out that this is the sharpest lens. So why not? The best way to compose your shot is to place your subject, if it's a speaking segment, on a right third or the left third. Now, the way you know if you choose the left or the right is by looking in your environment. When you look out into this environment, you'll see these leading lines in the wall here, that wooden wall over here. And the goal is to get your eyes looking in the same direction as that wall, which is why we chose to put them on the right third. If we picked the left, you would easily be able to tell there's something off about the image. So that's why we chose the right third in this particular circumstance. It's going to change for you depending on where you go. We have the composition dialed in. We have the cameras where we want them. Next up is lighting. We have two Aperture 120D Mark IIs, and we have some of these photography lights by Limo Studio. I think these are some of the ones you gave me or told me to buy a long time ago. But we'll break it down. We have our key light here. Our key light is going to be one of the brightest light sources that we have, and it's going to be lighting up most of the subject. Now, the reason why I placed it here is because we want to replicate the natural daylight spilling in from the windows over here. It's very easy to get lost in setting up your lights the wrong way when you try to add artificial lights on the wrong side of the room. There's natural daylight coming in here, and your goal, the best practice, is to try to enhance the natural light in the room, not add just more light in different directions. So that's why we place the key lights on the right side of the subject's face to replicate that big window over there. This little guy over here is separating our subject from the background. Because it's a video, it looks a little two-dimensional. So when you place this on their shoulders, it separates them from the background. Very important, equally important to the key light. I added a hair light right up top here. And this is just nice. It's aesthetically appealing, and you see this in a lot of big budget films. They have these massive LED panels above their heads, just shining on the top of their heads. It just replicates like the sun coming down, and it looks natural, so why not? I wanted to enhance this visual a little bit, and I just wanted to fill in the shadows on my subject's face. When you don't light for the shadows, you get grain in your image, and you try to expose using your aperture and ISO, which is the wrong way to do it. You just need to add more light to your image, so we did. We took another 120D Mark II, added our bounce card, and just pointed this light at the bounce. And as you can see, it's filling in on my hand over here, which will also fill in on the subject's face on this side of their face when they're sitting down. Now that we have our key lights and everything else in place for our subject, you have to light the background equally or it's gonna be off. It's gonna be dark back there, you're gonna get a lot of grain, it won't look good. So I've started by just adding a small touch of light right there. And my goal for this is just to add a little bit of light on that sign back there so I can highlight the company I'm filming for. Now if you look back there, it's brick, it's boring, it looks boring. So the way I spiced it up was to turn on this light up top here, this little can light, I'm not sure what that's called. I turned that on and turned all of my room lights off because it adds flicker and it adds this nasty yellow and green hue to your skin. Always turn off your shop lights. If you have lights in your office, turn them off. Don't use them. Here. So to enhance the background, I added this tiny little RGB light that I picked up from VC. If you guys want to see a review of that, it's on my channel.
I'm sorry, but that was like totally shameless plug. Like, well played.
Now, I didn't do too much more after that to my background. As you can see, it's filling in this background really, really nice. To add more texture and a dynamic to the video, I turned on the shop light. Now you're probably saying, you just told us to turn it off. What are you saying? Well, this isn't actually hitting my subject. It's blocked by this big wall over here. And because of this massive square hole, it's casting these lines on the ground. It just makes for a really good image. And finally, for this setup, we have the Rode NTG3. This is the newest addition to our setup. We were using the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, the Movo VXR10, and then some DR10s, I think they're called, Tascam DR10 lav mics. But we had to line up the audio in post-production, and it was killing our workflow. So we switched everything to the Rode NTG3. We ran everything from an XLR straight into the Blackmagic. No more syncing up in post. We're ready to go. This thing is a lifesaver. If you haven't, make the investment because it's worth it.
By the way, if you hear bad audio, the AC just came on. It's not a big deal for this video, but for professional gigs, Cody would be turning that off, right?
Yes.
And the interesting thing that you're not actually seeing in this shot is that this light's not at 100%. It's not like trying to battle the sun or anything. What it's actually doing is complementing it. It's not about just getting as bright of an image as possible. It's about making your image look natural, because if it looks unnatural, it just will not be what clients, that doesn't sound very good.
If it doesn't look natural, people will know they're watching a video. And if they know they're watching a video, then they can't be immersed in the experience. So that's one of the reasons why we try to make it as natural as possible.
So I just realized I forgot to film an outro. So unfortunately, that's where I'm going to have to leave this video. I hope you enjoyed this look into Cody's mindset and process when it comes to how he sets up for an interview. Definitely go check out his channel. He mainly posts some of the commercial work that he does, but he's actually going to be doing a tutorial on the light setup that you just saw. So that's definitely something you don't want to miss. Go over there, subscribe to him, and while you're interacting, why don't you give me a like, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video. By the way, how do you like how this shot looks? Because all I'm using is a falconized light panel with sort of a dome diffuser, so it's not just lighting directly at me, it's lighting the whole room more evenly. Also, fun fact, this shot is done with the M50 in 4K with manual focus and the kit lens. So let me know what you think about this shot, and does it look better than my normal videos? Does it look worse? Let me know.